guys, this is Anna from Anna and Ivy, and today I will show you what's inside and how to use the animated digital bouquet floral compilation collection thing. So let's start. First of all, first disclaimer. The static files are about 1 GB in size altogether, which is totally fine to download, but the animated parts are, I'm sorry for that, but they are 140 GB. So if you don't have the space for this product, please don't try to download it. No, I'm just kidding. I just want to make sure to let you know that you won't be able to download the animation part in one go. This is absolutely impossible. So what you can do, don't panic, there's a solution. What you can do is you can synchronize it to a Dropbox, because you will get a Dropbox transfer. This is the best option. The second option, if you don't have a Dropbox with 140 GB in size free, download them in small chunks, like 4 to 5 GB chunks, something like this. I'm not making them smaller because when they are too small, they don't look good anymore. It's not about the size, the elements themselves are totally fine in size, but they are too many. So they are about 350 or so elements. So these are 150, then we have 170 and so on. So there are a lot of elements, just to give you more possibilities. But this also means the file size, the whole pack size is quite big. So please download them in smaller chunks, because you won't be able to open the zip file if you try to download them at once. It won't work. So this is the first disclaimer. The second disclaimer is the clip arts, the static parts only contain a surprise, which I don't show you because it's a surprise, and single elements, which means the compositions like bouquets and so on that you saw in the video are at the moment only available in the animated section. So if you want to make them, they are made out of the same elements, so you can simply recreate them. Just to let you know that I haven't made the bouquets and the wreaths yet. So yeah, just for your information, in case you expect them to be inside. Of course, if you don't need them in big size, you can simply drag this to your Photoshop and export it as a PNG, for example, so you have the same wreath. I still don't know how to pronounce this word, so just to let you know. The third disclaimer. For those of you who already know my products, you can leave this conversation monologue at this point, because you should know all the things I'm trying to say in the next minutes. If you haven't used any of my products before, any animated products, you will need a desktop computer, Mac, PC, doesn't matter, and you will need Photoshop 2018 or newer, or Premiere Pro, or After Effects, or DaVinci Resolve, which is for free, or you can, I think, use it in Final Cut, but please don't blame me for that, because I don't use Final Cut and I'm not 100% sure, but it should work. I will leave a test file in the description so you can try it out first. You won't be able to download the files onto your, the animated parts, onto your iPad or phone. You won't be able to adjust them there, because iPhones or phones in general, as well as iPads, won't be able to read this file format. It's not possible. When you make your animation and you create an Instagram story, for example, you can of course export it on your desktop computer and then transfer it to your phone. This is totally fine. This will be an MP4. This is totally fine, but you need to start on a desktop computer. So that was it, my information commercial at the beginning, and I will just super quick show you how to work with this, because there's no such, this is not too complicated. So let's say we want to make an Instagram story. So this is my Instagram story file. I just opened a random, not a random, but I just made a file inside of Photoshop. It's just a basic file. This is the size. Here we go. And now I will make a nice background color in something like this beige tone, beige gray. And I want to add, so this thing over here, for example. Sorry for the sounds. And and then I will add this thing over here to make it look, I don't know, a bit more green. And maybe just something pink. Oh no, I just opened it. Maybe this one. No, something with two colors, because I want to show you something. So this one. Here we go. So these are my 3 elements. Now I want to change the color of this blossom or of this leaf. This is easier. Super easy. Go to while holding or while having this selected, go to FX, color overlay. Here we go. Now you can see it already changed because I have the red color and soft light blend mode. So you can use the blend modes to experiment a bit with this whole thing, or you can use the color itself. So I will go to soft light and make it more kind of a yellowish green. This is the easiest way to change the color of an object. If you don't want to have like hundreds and thousands of layers over here. So again, I just drag and dropped it to my document, took this one, went to FX, color overlay, and that's it. So these are the first step I did. I'm moving with this move tool. I select this stuff while clicking on it and move it around. So you can do the same things with the animated elements as you would do with the static elements. It's super easy. You can mask things out. Just keep in mind the things are moving and the mask not. So while it's moving, for example, I will click here and then mask out with my eraser this small thing here, and I will show you in a minute that the mask won't move. So if my thing moves back and forth, it can happen that the mask will affect some parts of it, but this is not a super big deal. I will show you in a minute what I mean. So let's say we want only to change the red parts of this flower here. We go to image. While it's still a smart object, it needs to stay as a smart object because the animation is behind the smart object. We go to image, adjustment, and then go to hue saturation. You can of course also use color balance, whatever you want. In this case I will choose the reds because I want to change the reds just a tiny bit. Here we go. So this is my adjustment for this flower. Here we go. And I can add some text if I want to. It's really up to you what you make out of this. So I want to export this as an animation, but first of all I want to check my animation because now it's not animated at all. I have to open the timeline. So I go to Window and then Timeline, then the small thing pops up and I need to click on Create Video Timeline. Don't click on Create Frame Animation. This is something different. Here we go. So all animations are 20 seconds long. They are loops, so they repeat on the same loop, so you won't see a difference as the animation goes on. And yeah, this is my animation. Just make sure all layers you add later are starting at 0 and ending at 20 seconds if this is the length of your animation. You can also use 50 seconds and then simply drag this to here, because an animated or an Instagram story only has 50 seconds in case you want to use it for an Instagram story. But then the loop is of course not perfect if you use it for something else after the story. So I will leave it at 20 seconds. And yeah, all my elements are in the right position. Everything is fine. So let's say you want to move this small thing from here to there. So you put an animation on top of the animation. I will show you just real quick how to do this. So we open the small section here. We're having our layer selected, and then click on Transform, make a keyframe where it starts, and then 5 seconds into the video, double click here if you want a precise 5 seconds. I will simply move it with my move tool to here. And now when you start this whole thing, it takes forever because it's Photoshop, but it moves. As you can see, it's a bit stuttering, but this is only the preview inside of Photoshop. Don't worry, this won't be visible after the render anymore, so it's quite annoying to watch Photoshop dying. So this is the situation we have here. Of course you can do the same with the opacity. So let's say we will change the opacity to 0, make a keyframe over here, move it over there, and then we set the opacity back to 100. A keyframe will appear automatically when you move it. While having a keyframe set at the exact point, it will adjust itself. Maybe took this to the back, here we go. And now you have an animation inside of the animation. So this is how it looks like now. Of course, keep in mind that when you loop it, you should remove the keyframes, but this is obvious, I think. So just a quick trick, so to speak, how to put some more animations on top. I will remove this for now because I don't like it so much. Here we go. Just make sure to make the opacity at 100 again, and now you can see this is my animation. I will export it. Go to File, Export, Render Video. So just make sure the size is set your document size. You can change the frame rate to 24 if you want to, but I will leave it like this. Name your video clip. Let's make it test. Size is perfect. Render. This will take a bit, so just relax, wait for your animation to finish, and then you will have an MP4 and you can send it to your phone. So that's basically it. This is also the same way inside of Photoshop how you can create the the bouquets. And if you want to learn more about the animation options, please visit my YouTube channel. You will find tutorials for every product I've made, which is animated on my YouTube channel. And there are of course sometimes more information than I just offered here, because every set is a bit different, and yeah, I don't want to spam you with all the thousand possibilities you have. But basically you can use the elements inside of Photoshop like normal layers. And yeah, if you're familiar to the video programs, or if you want to try a free video program that works with the files, it's DaVinci Resolve. It will be a bit faster, and there you have of course more possibilities. So I hope you enjoyed this small and quick information tutorial kind of video, and I hope you like the collection. I wish you a lot of fun with it, and see you. Bye.